I'm Tracy Baxter with a special edition of Record Newswatch. He was the face of global terrorism and the mastermind behind the September 11th attacks.
USA! USA! USA!
Today, people in our part of the world shared the emotions of happiness and relief after hearing the word that elite American forces had killed Osama bin Laden. Among the early celebrations, a spontaneous one that erupted at West Point, where thousands of cadets gathered outside Superintendent Lieutenant General David Huntoon's residence to savor what has been called a once-in-a-lifetime event.
So tonight, put your focus where it belongs, in remembering that kind of sacrifice. And think about the great privilege that all of you will have some very soon, and some in a couple months and some in a couple years, of leading the great young men and women of the armed forces of the United States, many of whom will continue to be in harm's way when it becomes your turn to lead them. That's the message of tonight, that the fight goes on.
The Orange County village of Washingtonville was one of the places hard hit on September 11th. The community lost 5 firefighters that day: Bob Hamilton, Dennis Devlin, Glenn Perry, Jerry Nevins, and Mark Whitford. Today, at the Washingtonville monument that pays tribute to their ultimate sacrifice, former village resident Nicholas Carl had driven from his home in Plattekill to place an American flag star at the memorial site. He'd gone to college with Devlin's daughter Chrissy. He told me he needed to return to the monument because, in his words, you don't get a day like this twice. And Carl believes Washingtonville is one of the places where bin Laden's death may have an even deeper impact.
It is a different deal. And I moved from Washingtonville and I drove all the way back here because I felt that this is right. And it does mean a lot. There's a lot of people that had clearly had a lot of investment in this, and this can only be seen as something good. I can't see a negative from it. This was the clear objective. This was, since day one, since September 12th, 2001, this has been on everybody's mind. It's a good day for the nation. It's a good day for people to sit back and reflect, and we've been thinking about our differences for, I think, 8 years now, and it's nice to, in a bittersweet way, to kind of find a way that there's not differences.
Another Washingtonville resident summed up the feelings of others who'd waited a decade to hear news of bin Laden's death. She said there is happiness as well as hope that our country is now better prepared for any future terrorist attacks.
We started chanting USA in front of the television watching the Philadelphia Phillies play last night. It was awesome. It felt so good that it's done. He's caught, done, dead, now, on with life. I definitely expect something. They're not going to let this go on, they're not going to not retaliate for it, but I think we're ready. I really do.
To stay on top of all of the news related to the killing of Osama bin Laden, keep checking back here at Record Online. And reporters covering all angles of this story will provide a comprehensive look at the bin Laden death, the reactions, and the possible consequences. That is in tomorrow's edition of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.